Yo, it is time for Word on the Street, where I give you the latest updates and trends in commercial real estate. I'm your girl, Yalanda Yo Win Winston, your favorite commercial real estate partner, advisor, and negotiator. So, So, you guys, let's start off with a recap from last Word on the Street. So, you guys know I keep my ears glued to the streets so I can know what's going on and I can bring it to you and make sure that you are prepared for what is in store on your journey. So last week we talked about pricing and we discussed what you see is not always what you pay. So I went into a little detail about how the pricing structure looks on the internet. When you look at a property, we talked about triple net and we talked about CAM, different things like that. But this time, what I want to talk about, the trend or the update that I am seeing that I want to bring to you, three things that we're going to discuss today on Word on the Street. First, this is in regards to leasing. If you are looking for a space to lease, number one, the inventory is low right now. You may not want to hear that, but it is what it is, and I am not in control of it, so don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. The inventory is low. So, you guys, it goes into preparation. If you are considering moving, you need to start looking for an agent 6 months at the least before your current lease is up. You guys, if you saw previous videos about the importance of having a commercial agent, I told you when you either stay in contact with the agent that helped you get into your current property, or you create a relationship with a commercial agent, preferably me, and I will help you determine if it's time to move based on your current pricing, your revenue, things like that. But the main point is the inventory is low. And I've also mentioned if you come to me and say, I need something last week, there's not much I can do for you. If I could produce the perfect property for you the moment you called me, I would, because that would equal a commission check for me. I'm just being honest. So, you guys, the inventory is low. Create and maintain a relationship with a commercial broker. They will keep their eye on the market so that you know what the trend is and how you need to prepare. Okay. The second trend that I'm seeing in leasing commercial space right now is properties are being advertised before they're ready for occupancy. So, two things that I'm seeing. One, either the current tenant is still in the unit, they may have 30 to 90 days left on their lease, but the listing agent is being proactive because they don't want that property to sit vacant. So, what they're doing is they're advertising the property. We look at it, they let us know. I don't know beforehand until I call the agent, talk to the agent, show up, and then the agent might tell me, hey, look, the tenants, they're not going to vacate until November. All right. So just be aware of that. There's low inventory, and because of that, agents are doing their job and making sure that they advertise what's coming up next. Also, a big thing about working with an agent is that I can call around and get some off market properties for you guys. Commercial real estate is not about advertising stuff on the internet and social media. A lot of it is word of mouth. And that's why I do a lot of networking, because I understand the importance of being in the room with the right people. So, Yo knows the people who you need to know to make the transaction go smoothly. So, I can get into contact with agents and say, hey, you have such and such and such on the market right now. I have a client looking for X, Y, and Z. Do you have anything? Usually the conversation is yes. It's not ready right now. I will let you know in a few blank and we can go from there. Or they'll say, I don't have anything right now, but you should call this person because they have something that you're looking for. Had I not made the phone call or have those connections, I would have never known about the additional properties that are soon to come on the market or currently on the market, but not being advertised publicly. Okay. So the third trend that I'm seeing in leasing commercial real estate in Huntsville, Alabama, I am not talking about all around the country. I am based here in Huntsville, Alabama. I will eventually spread my wings, but you just have to wait until that happens. Okay. So the third thing that I am seeing when it comes to leasing commercial real estate is landlords are being more selective about the tenant. It is all about tenant diversity. So when you have a strip center, I can't even get it out because I have never seen this anywhere I've lived except Huntsville, Alabama, where you will have a strip mall with 3 nightclubs or 3 bars or 3 hairstylists, 3 barbers. I've never seen that. And I've talked to these individuals and it does not seem to be a problem. They do not have an issue with it. There are plenty of customers to go around, and that's just the nature of how it works here in Huntsville, Alabama. But there's also a situation where a landlord may have a non-competitive clause for their property, meaning if that property has okay, so first of all, okay, let me just start with one and then I'll go to the second example. So my first example is, say for instance, we have a strip mall. We're going to use a pretty big strip mall. Let's say it's a strip mall with 12 storefronts, right? Somebody might sign a lease, and let's say they are a cosmetologist. They might do a non-compete that says you cannot lease to any other cosmetologist. I am the only cosmetologist that will be allowed in this center. That's called a non-compete. Yeah. And that happens a lot. I usually see it with coffee shops because they don't want them right next to each other. A lot of times you have an agent that specializes in an area. And so they are the subject matter expert. They are kind of the go-to for that area. So they will have multiple strip malls, multiple properties in this community, and they can still do a non-compete where they will not lease to another competing business because they want to maintain and help support the revenue for the business that they have already put into a unit. So when you guys are talking to me, a lot of times I will tell you my job is to get you in a unit that I know you can maintain. So as an agent, I'm not going to set you up for failure. So that's an agent's doing their job to make sure that they help secure the revenue for that tenant, which then allows the tenant to make their rent. You get where I'm going with that. So just know the landlord can say, you could love that property to death. And the landlord could say, you know what? I don't think your business is a good fit for this building. I'll use an example of if you have a building where the tenants are pretty quiet. They may have tenants that are in the office once or twice a week. They may not have clients coming through the building. Now, let's just say you want to open up a photography studio and your photography is, you specialize in children. You can already see the conflict right there. You're going to create a different atmosphere in that building, and it may disrupt the current tenants, which may make them, or let me see, get my word right. So you're creating a new environment for the current tenant, and it might put that tenant in a position where they say, I don't want to be in this building any longer because it doesn't fit my brand. It doesn't fit the atmosphere that I want. So you guys, in closing, I want to remind you that it's very, 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 very important to create and maintain a relationship with a commercial broker. Period. point blank. Okay. So this was word on the street. The word on the street is inventory for commercial leasing is low. The agents are advertising the spaces before they're ready for occupancy, which means if you want something tomorrow, you might have to wait until November because that's just the unit that you fell in love with is not going to be ready until then. The third thing is landlords are being more selective about the tenants. You guys, these are things that I am currently seeing in the market. I hope that, it doesn't, my clients don't think I am talking about them specifically, but I'm here to see it's about the trends. So this is a trend that I am seeing. I've had several people call me within the last few months, and I'm seeing this trend. Therefore, I want to bring it to you so that you are aware and more educated. So, my name is Yalanda Yo Win Winston. I was going to say stationed. We did the whole military thing, but I specialize in commercial real estate in Huntsville, Alabama. I am with EXP Commercial, and I will see you in the street.